Social stratification is a system by which a society ranks categories of people in a hierarchy. As reflected by its very definition, it's a trait of society and therefore can't be considered as a simple reflection of individual differences. Notably, it's something that transfers among generations and isn't limited solely to inequality, as it also involves beliefs. It can be split into two distinct categories, the class system and caste system. The United States has a class system, so we'll primarily be focusing on social class, but I'd like to give you an overview of both. The caste system is social stratification based on ascription or birth, whereas the class system is social stratification based on both birth and individual achievement. A social class is an open system or a system based on achievement that allows for movement and interaction between different social classes. It consists of a set of people who share similar status, with regard to factors like wealth, income, education, and occupation. It's essentially a social construct based on socioeconomic standing. As opposed to a caste system, those in the class system have the opportunity for upward mobility, so they're able to move classes, attain a different education level than their parents, or have a personal choice in their selection of an occupation. On the opposite end of the spectrum, caste societies assign everyone a place and a general type of work. Both of these systems and the social hierarchies that go along with them are upheld by societal ideologies or cultural beliefs that justify particular social arrangements, including patterns of inequality. People are divided into social classes based upon similarities in the resources that they have, thus the classes are somewhat reliant upon prestige, power, and wealth. Again, this isn't something that the individual differences create, but rather is a creation of society. Income, wealth, occupational prestige, and educational attainment are the most readily available measures of inequality in any society. So income is the most commonly used to provide an initial view of social class inequality. In measuring this way, the entire U.S. population is divided into equal quintiles, or fifths, on the basis of income, starting at the lowest reported level and continuing upward until 1/5 has been accounted for. In this way, lower and upper income boundaries are established for that quintile. This same method is utilized for remaining 4 quintiles, and once completed, the average incomes of each are compared. So, wealth is measured as total assets or the net financial worth of households. This does skew the overall distribution in favor of the rich more so than the other measures. Educational attainment, on the other hand, is the number of years of school completed, whereas occupational prestige is the prestige that's attributed to certain occupations. So society assigns both prestige and wealth to certain occupations or roles, and subsequently the amount of power individuals in a class have is based upon that. So for example, doctors have a great deal more prestige, wealth, and power than janitors do. This isn't because the doctor is smarter or because the doctor is a better person. They could be just as intelligent as one another. However, the janitor may not have been able to afford to reach the same level of educational attainment as the doctor, and therefore can't hold the same occupation and is placed into a social hierarchy in which they're intrinsically valued less. The system of stratification itself is created by ideologies held by society about difference in importance of occupation, educational attainment, value, prestige, wealth, and power. This same system put in place is also used to attempt to justify inequality, or rather why some individuals are unequal. So this is a societal creation in that individuals are grouped together in accordance with resource similarities. There are 2 types of equality. Equality of opportunity, which is equal opportunity to achieve desired levels of material well-being and prestige, whereas equality of result is equality in the actual outcome of people's attempts to improve their material well-being and prestige. So it's commonly believed in America that opportunities for success should be equally distributed and that determinants for who succeeds and fails should be fair. This falters, however, in the face of another commonly held belief, that competence and hard work should be rewarded while incompetence is punished. This leads to the formation of the idea that poverty is a direct result of personal failure. Equality of opportunity generally isn't considered, and the hard work of those of a lower socioeconomic status tends to be overlooked or undermined. Therefore, low-income families, or rather those of lower socioeconomic status, are disenfranchised and discredited, as it implies that their poverty is a result of laziness, failure, and weakness of character. It's worth remembering that class is a multidimensional concept determined by power, wealth, and prestige, and that 80% of the wealth in the United States is owned by 1/20th of the population. So poverty is reduced through better health care, more schools, more food and shelter, and more jobs, all of which require economic and social development. The experience of the more affluent nations indicates that such development is likely to produce larger working and middle classes and reduce the rate of poverty. But the persistence of poverty and near poverty in the United States and other industrialized nations shows how difficult it is to promote greater equality elsewhere in the world.